Greetings, dear precious spirit soul that you are. I'm whispering because there's people camping out and, they like to sleep in. I like to get up early. Anyway, hey, breathe into your heart, precious soul. Yes, yes, yes. Wow, my topic. Beware of people offering gifts. Okay. What happens, how we get set up, or how we set ourselves up for mutual manipulation, you might say, trying to extract something from the other person that we believe and think that we do not have ourselves or we're not capable of. Now, bearing gifts. If you think, like I talked about, the first step in grooming, how people get set up for things, is whoever it is, identifies the victim. That means they identify the person that is going to be the one that they're going to eventually consume, take everything they possibly can from that person. And one of the steps after they identify the victim, they've got to then set up a relationship. They have to be in that person's life somehow. But then again, here's the key. When they start to offer you gifts, it's never really a gift. It's going to appear like a gift, but nobody does anything for nothing, because you do it because you believe you're going to gain something, or it's your heartfelt work. It's who you are as a divine being, that you naturally want to give and help others, but you don't have the desire to control or manipulate them. Like if you give them a gift, you don't tell them what to do with the gift. It's done. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Harold and Maude. Well, anyway, so Harold gives Maude this piece of jewelry, and she throws it into the lake. And he said, "What'd you do?" She said, "Well, now I always know where it is, and I don't have to worry that I'll lose it." Now, okay, because see, she wasn't attached to all of the stuff, because she already had all the stuff, when you get there. So it's often like people, like there was this Emmett Fox, who was a really good spiritual writer, metaphysician kind of a person. And he was a counselor, and someone said, "Who would you rather counsel? A rich person with a lot of money, things, or someone who didn't have a lot of money?" He said, "I would rather counsel the person with a lot of money, because they know then that money isn't the solution to whatever were their real problems. But the person without the money always thought, if I could just get that money, okay, if I could just get that fame, if I could just get that glory, if I could just attain this best next thing, then I'm cool." Well, anyway, so you beware of people offering gifts, because you have to look at it's like an advertiser, this free gift, or will give you a free opportunity. That may be true, and they want you to sample it and try it. But do you also have when people come forth and they do you favors? They're going to do something for you. It's a mafia thing. You do a favor, but you take a favor, but they're going to expect a favor back. Or they give you something like, say, "Oh, you know what? I'll handle your money for you, so you don't have to worry." Oh, great. Or you go to a lawyer and you say, "Well, he'll do it or she'll do it all for you, so you don't have to deal with stuff." There's way you can do it all yourself, because then they learn off of you and they charge you for everything. Every piece of paper, every even 5-minute phone call is actually an hour or whatever. So then you get exploited. Now, it's the same thing with your electronics. I'm telling you, if people don't give up their electronic and cell phones, I know we're using electronics here, but to find out a minimal way that we can do this. But with all of this, such a thing called the web, like a spider, which is an insect, is a control structure to keep everybody in one kind of an electronic mindset, which you would call it the matrix, or you would call it the virtual reality, you would call it the pixels that they're viewing on what they call life. You are life. This is what you got to know. Now, okay, so when you take the gift, say you get, everybody got a phone. Everybody has their own phone and it has all these things, and we get all, oh wow, isn't that fabulous? And it's not fabulous at all, because you've also given away your ability for telepathy, you've given your ability for intuition, you've given your ability for knowing, you've given your ability to communicate, because people are really not communicating or being with each other at all. They're fixated on screens and numbers and visuals that they believe they cannot live without, because they have set everything up. Oh, we'll do it as a favor for you. We'll put it in a cloud. We'll put it in electronic. We will put your money in a digital thing. So and then what happens is you have no more power anymore, because everything you do is then controlled by this electronic situation. You could be deleted, your stuff deleted, you were there, now you're not there, and all of this kind. It's absolute maniacal mind control. And whoever controls your emotions and whoever controls your needs controls you. And then you take a look at where that goes, and then you're living in an electronic prison, where you think it's just fabulous because you could turn on your little screen just like now, but and this is what we're doing right now, and yet this does not need to be your life. This is about taking yourself back, owning your divine godlike powers and abilities, and knowing, because you are divine wisdom. So I invite you to contact me, and there's so much more. And then how to then take back what you've given away, your elements, your powers of manifestation, your communication, your ability to, what would you say? But what happens is, by each step, we'll give you more conveniences. Like you can have an automatic trash compactor. You can, everything. You could have an electronic car that drives for you. That's why they're putting then all of this stuff they're working on at Mount Shasta and the highway. It's all electronics. It's control you. This is about you and who you are. And when you say, oh yeah, but it's so convenient, and I don't know what I'd do without my phone, because I could see everything, and I could contact this, I could watch the children, because of course I'm not there. But anyway, go on and on and on. Then there's a fakey thing of people that you think you're looking at a girl, but it's actually a boy, or you think you're looking at a boy and it's actually a girl, and you think, well, what does that matter? Well, in a sense, when you look at how much that is being put out, and the young people, the people who've been educated in a governmental, that means mind control. Government is mind control. Ment is mind, meant. So take a look at the words. It's all in the words. And so then contact me. I'll work with you and teach you all of this, so that you can then own yourself and who you are and your manifesting powers, and then use that to help others through your work, through your mission, through your talents, through your abilities. And when we really get that, each of us has our own bubble of reality, you might say. Not that your truth, my truth, that's all, new age BS and all of the channeling and all that. People get all real upset because they're in a group and they've got all these words. I was going over this manuscript of this book for a book I had written. It took me about 5 years to write this. It was really good because for me, it helped me to learn discernment. And it was about for kind-hearted people who always want to see the good in others but lack discernment. And they say that you can't be discerning. What do you mean? That means I have to know what is the ramification of my choices. If I'm going to take a gift from you, and that's how they target, how these pedophiles and these abusers and these people, sex maniacs and nutcases, how they control others. They find their target, just like this is what PR does. They look to see who are the target we can sell our stuff to. Like, you got to have this stuff. You got to have this thing. You got to be part of the group. My children have to have that. They work on you on every single level, and then it's all set up so that you become your own judge, your own jury, your police. You become your own lawyer. You become your own executioner and commit suicide, really, because you believe the whole thing that you've been taught to believe is true and absolute. And anybody who doesn't go along with that, they're crazy, or they're a theorist over here, and they're a that, and they're a this and a that. And so then it's all keeping that person within a controlled reality that whoever is giving us so-called, the government doesn't give you gifts. But we say, oh, the government owes me this, or the government's good. They take it from you. What are you talking about? So it's like when each of it, what may I say? This is the greatest work in the world. This is the greatest work that there is. It's the work you do for yourself. And then you can help others to actually own and be who they really are, spiritually, divinely, in every way. So if you would like to work with me on this, that I work for you, you just email me and contact me, Terry@terrycolewhitaker.com, and there is a way that I can help you and assist you in attaining what you really desire in your heart, and to manifest free of fear and doubt, because the whole thing is doubting your own self. By being taught that everybody and everything knows more, is better, is the one who's going to give you what you have, when they're taking everything from you. Whew. So beware of those with the gifts, because after a while you can't live without the gifts. And when you can't live without that drug, you can't live without that prescription. And if you had done it in the natural way to find out how your own body, oh, I can't be bothered with that. I can't study up on that. You tell me about it. I can't bother about that. Hey, what? It's about you. You are the greatest investment that you could ever make. And in counseling stuff, doing it on a love offering basis. So anybody who wants this and is willing to work with it and stuff, that gives me the joy of my heart, because, wow, there is nothing greater than for each of us to know and be who we really are. Love you lots. Mm-hmm.